Alright, I know that this has been one of the craziest rides right now, but Dorei-ku in the animation has its ups and downs. You know, I mean, the whole dynamic structure of Dorei-ku in the animation is just you put the mouthpiece on, you play a game, and you make them slaves. Kind of like Osama game, where you got a phone and you tell them to be your, and you got to participate in the game, and if you don't, you die. In Dorei-ku in the animation, it loses its focus. Like the whole thing, each individual has its purpose as to why they become slaves, why they become the masterminds of everything, and that's what it is. But they losing its strive to make it better. Like it's losing kind of focus with every character explanation as to why they're in this game. Some have their reasons, some don't. Some have their sad stories. Some are good, some are bad, some are just over the top insane. Now, last week, he had like the guy and the dog had their moments as to why they participated in the game, and their reason was to end the SCM forever. In episode 7 now, I feel like they're catching up. Like I feel like they're making it good, improving it. Like they're really improving the episodes right now to get more in depth with Master Ryuuou and Master Ryuuou and Julia. Now, kids today are really scary. They're really, really scary, and they will do what they can to get what they want in a greedy way. In Dorei-ku in the animation, episode 7 just described just how deviant Master Ryuuou is. Like, it's so messed up that he putting Julia on the line. And Julia is like, I feel bad for Julia. Like in the beginning, Julia was just your innocent woman, fine, hot woman. But you can see why she's like this. I mean, I blame Saya for this. Like, if you guys remember Saya, that guy with the white hair, kind of a host guy anyway, he kicked Julia out of his house, and then her backstory is kind of sad. I mean, she had a mom and dad. She was abused. She was all that kind of rape, all that stuff, and now she's living with Master Ryuou's house. And the thing is, Ryuuou is evil, but he's nice. And the only reason he's doing this is because he wants to free his mother from a lifetime of prostitution and strippery at a brothel. Okay. Now, here's this nutshell. Julia got nowhere else to go. So she's staying at Ryuou's house. Ryuuou, that young boy, got nothing. You know, he lives in that big ass house, and his mom is out there in the brothel. So he wants to control everybody like in the chess piece. And I feel like, why does every anime smart guy in every anime uses chess pieces for a living? It's like Shikamaru in Naruto uses shogi, and Lelouch from Code Geass uses chess pieces to find maneuvers to take control of the field. Master Ryuuou is kind of like that. A genius, a young boy, genius, and using chess pieces as slaves. Okay, we get that. So he wants to test out the SCM on Julia, and it succeeded. But to test it out even more worse, to make it worse, telling her, "Hey, strip," and body can't control it. So she's like, "Okay," she's stripping the whole clothes. I'm like, whoa, they actually showing all this, and it actually like, wow, that is. The first command you told her to strip, you could have just do another easy command, not just telling her to strip. But the way how Ryuou's blushing is like he wanted that. So to test it out even more, he took Julia to the brothel just to save his mother, and his mother looks hot. I'm sorry, but Ryuou's mom looks hot. Now here's the other thing. He's like, okay. The brothel. Okay, Ryuou's kind of dumb. I'm sorry. When he went to the brothel and he told the boss, like, I want to free my mother, how much is charged? It said 100 million yen just to save your mother. Okay, here's the thing. why didn't Rio just challenge him to a duel to save his mother? Like, why didn't Rio just say, okay, I'll tell you what, we'll duel for it. If I win, you free my mother from all the debts or whatnot. If I lose, I'll pay all the debts. Like, why didn't that come to his mind? Why didn't he think of that? Why didn't he think about that? Like, okay, I understand his reason for getting more slaves is to, he wants to pay for all the things that his mother did. But again, you could have just challenged the brothel boss to a duel and win it. I mean, and think about it. Even if he was to get 100 million, chances are the chances for Rio's mother to increase will be more than that. Because if Rio would have got 100 million and give it to the boss could be a manipulative bitch. He could just trick everything and say, oh, I'm sorry, it went up. Instead of 100 million, it will be 500 million. How about that? See, that's the thing. He could have challenged him to make things easy for him, but he didn't. So, as you both know, that's like a big old exposition here. I'm sorry, but Rio got his slaves, and he wants more and more slaves. So this proves. I mean, after watching all the previous episodes, you can see now how many slaves that he had at the time of the beginning of his SEM. So now he got his 5. I mean, with him, that's 5. And they got the other one, that's 5. So now it's a 5-on-5 thing. I mean, team deathmatch. So he challenged the other girl who, remember last week, that person had it coming, like tying him up. Challenge him to a duel. Challenge her to a duel. In a way that, let's just say in a way to get more slaves. Okay. Now, before I get to that, I want to say, it got more worse with Julia. Rio is telling, Rio even put Julia in a tight squeeze by not taking, instead of taking off, she took all of her clothes off and wore her neck collar around her neck like some SM thing, which everybody likes. And when Julia hugs Rio, I gotta say, who doesn't want to hug Julia? I would. I will hug Julia even better. Who wants that? Oh, I do. And some of y'all want that hug from Julia. Okay, so next. Rio wants slaves. So what do you have to do? Challenge that woman to a duel. The one is into SEMs. The one is into S&Ms, kind of like the tied up bondage type thing. But anyway, challenge them to a duel in a 5-on-5, capture the flag, Call of Duty type thing. Now, it was full of traps that none of them didn't see, and the rules was if you fall down or something, you get eliminated. So if you actually accidentally slipped on something, you're eliminated. But Rio's team was sacrificing themselves. They didn't care if they would live or die. They had just taken control. Even Julia, you gotta applaud Julia for this. She sacrificed herself. There's water on the ground, and she electrocuted herself. So that if someone was to get her, they'll get electrocuted themselves. See, Julia is I feel bad. Again, she put in everything for Rio. I get it. But this is too much, even for Julia's sake. So Julia sacrificed herself for the team. And now that Rio won, and the other team lost, he has 11 slaves. He still needs more though, but he's trying to get more slaves enough just for the boss to die. But hey, some of y'all don't even know how many slaves the boss got. For all we know, the boss can have more than 11. He could probably have 20, 25. This is like a bad version. Okay, from watching Dorei-ku in the animation, this is like a bad version of Sekirei. You know how Sekirei is, you kiss the Sekirei, they're yours forever. It's like that. But this is we take the non-hentai version of it with a little bit of fan service, and with the mouthpiece is just too much. So yeah, it's kind of like that. But now that the little boy got 11 slaves, and as for the other one, the female version of Light Yakami, with her slaves, 3 of them, the dog, the boy, and the girl in the brothel. So yeah. So now the tables are set. We don't know how it's gonna work out, but truth be told, all they have to do is just beat the boss. It's like the brothel boss is the boss battle. Is the boss of bosses? Let's just finish him off and let's end the SCM forever. Do you think that's easy? It won't be, because there's other peoples out there who even have that. So it's gonna be hard to just get everything out. I would say the best way to do it, for me, the best way to get rid of the SCM devices is to find the creator, the co-creator, or whatever, to find a way to get rid of every SCM around the world. Hopefully that's a chance. But episode 7 of this just described just how difficult, just how sad I see Julia is suffering a lot. How she got the brand on her arm, how she putting her life on the line to save this young boy, to save his mother from a lifetime of prostitution. I mean, it's sad, but she'll do what she can. I mean, she got dumped. I'm like, come on. Who am I to say? Who am I to judge? It's bad, very sad. And as for the boy, like, I really hate him, but the way he's doing this, it's kind of like, he's doing this for the right purpose. He's doing this for the good of his mother. That's it. But like I said, he could have challenged the brothel boss, into a match right this second. I don't know why he should have. So that's all I have to say. Good episode. It's good. It's building in. I like it. I like how it's building up. So it's actually doing a good job. So, with 11 slaves, is he gonna fight the boss? We'll see. So tune in next week.